for the love of the game. For the love of the game. I've always been a doer. When something needed to be done, I saw it, I recognized what needed to be done, and I stepped in and did it. If we were struggling at practice, I would get in the huddle and say, "Give it to me, coach. Give it to me. Let me have it." But see, for some reason, I had the recognition of what was going on, and also for some reason had the ability to see what was needed for us to make it happen. That's why, a lot of the things, a lot of people tell me what I did for them when we were playing, or when we were on the same team and we were practicing. Some of the things that have come back to me over the years, some of the things that guys have said to me from being a former player that I coached. For some reason, I understood. But to see someone have the opportunity and the potential to grow and not being able to do it, to not be able to narrow the focus in, to not be able to get the potential out of themselves or even really desire it is maddening. Maddening. When I see it, I want to do it. I want to take it and take the individual and also give it in such a way that they get it and it not be an issue and it not be a fight. Sometimes somebody else knows better. Maybe somebody else knows better than me. Matter of fact, I'm sure somebody else knows better than me, has more experience than me about developing people. But for me, it has been a certainty that I have the ability to reach, to touch, to develop, to guide from an inner man perspective, the development process. It's a gift. It's a blessing. Also, to me, it's a little bit of a curse. Where when I see it and I can't help, I'm not allowed to help for whatever reason, for I don't want the recognition, I don't want the credit, I don't care. Only thing I care about, team success, team motivation, team winning. And the more that we narrow these variables that can cause us to lose, the more we are able to do that, the better chance we'll have at winning. Nothing assures us of winning. Nothing assures us of perfection. Matter of fact, perfection is a myth. Which we can try to be perfect. We can say we hit the perfect golf shot. Every now and again, you hit one that feels so good, makes you want to hit another one. Every now and again, I would get the play and it would happen just right. But then, even within what seems to be perfect, there is some imperfection. There's always room to grow. There's always room to develop. There's always gas in your tank. And you always have the ability to push yourselves to a different level. It's a choice. It's a continual choice. Day after day. Moment after moment. Minute after minute. When we're trying to win, we're trying to prepare to win. When we are thinking about these plays in the meetings, when we're thinking about these plays in the staff meetings with the players, when we're thinking about these plays while I'm in the jacuzzi trying to get loosened up for practice, or in the jacuzzi trying to get loosened up for the game, while I'm going through the rehearsing, review, rehearse, remember, my alignments, my assignments, my adjustments, when I'm going through all of this process, preparing to win, narrowing those variables down on a continual basis. It's a blessing to be able to give, to build. Because we're always experiencing, learning, developing, growing, teaching. We're always doing that. We have that potential. I love being able to just take the reins. When I used to see what was needed to be done, And I could just do it. I did it. When I was on as a player, I mean, I had more. Seemed like I had more control than as a coach. I don't have that control. I don't have that mechanism. But I can also see that it's possible. I can see the possibilities with people. And when you see the possibilities with people, I've had the opportunity to be up close. I've had the opportunity to watch tape, video, to see the potentials of different players and see the developmental process not happening for whatever reason, whether it be coaching, whether it be the player acceptability of coaching, or the player developmental process, or the player's desire to develop. Whatever that reason is, trying to get in there and figure that out. I mean, that's part of the challenge. That's part of the love of doing it. Being able to help a guy, even though he doesn't want the help. As a matter of fact, we can help the individual without him even knowing that you're assisting him. Coaching, developing. Developmental process has to be continued. Perfection has to be sought. Get the perfect play. We should be thinking about winning even during the early parts of the week. Matter of fact, even during the off season. I can remember training, running on the treadmill, training for a run test that we were going to have to take when I got to the Redskins. Training, raising my hands up in the air, saying champion, champion, champion. That was part of my mental process, my thinking. I had to adjust my thinking some. I had to develop that. Reason being, because I had failed very hard earlier, 2 years prior to the trade. So my mind needed developing. My mind needed more energy toward being a champion. I had to go through that process. So living through that process, living through recovering from injuries, and being able to make something that was a weak point in my development or weak point in my game, make it a strength. Having those abilities, being able to use the energy, transfer energy that was either negative or even good energy. Sometimes you can get too excited and it'll mess you up. So being able to use all of those energies in a process that helps you or helped me, now I can help others. I can see it. I've written a book called Everybody Fumbles. And in that book, it's a lot of development process that we can go through. Off-season training, in-season training, visualization, football plagiarism, being able to watch other guys and be able to learn from what they do. All of those foundational things is available. Being able to teach vision. I've had coaches tell me, you can't teach vision. Yes, you can. You can teach vision because you can teach what everybody else is doing. You can have them learn what everybody else is doing, their assignments, and then you can use that knowledge to help you with your vision. It's a process. But if you start with a foundational thing, you start with a foundational basics like Granny taught me. Granny gave me, that's my grandmother, gave me a hell of a foundation. Took me to church. Treat others like you want to be treated. Respect your elders. Respect the people that are in authority. Basic life tenets. Basic life foundation. Those things have to be involved with it. I believe in the basics. If we take care of the basics, then we can build from there. There's a blessing. It is a blessing to build from a foundational basis. It's a blessing to be able to give, but also give in such a way that you continually build it, continually challenge it. It's okay. It's all right to be challenged. It's all right to be coached. You ain't always got to have the answers. I can remember Granny telling me when I leave the room, cut those lights off. Cut those lights off. Cut the TV off when you leave the room, Ernest. Man, I didn't see any importance in that. And I'm walking around in my basement in Northern Virginia, as a matter of fact in Chantilly, Virginia, and I'm turning the lights off after my kids have gone up to bed. and granted came to me. That's one of those simple things. But a lot of the stuff that we are taught, a lot of the things that we're given from a basic foundational level, it's the stuff that's going to come back and be effective later in life. In the Bible, they say, train a child as he should go. He may depart from it, but he'll come back. It comes back. So we always need to train the basics. The basics of the basic foundation of football, foundational moves, how to leverage your blocks, how to make your cuts, how to gain ground. As a matter of fact, got a DVD that shows some of that stuff. Basic stuff, all basics. But you need good sound basics so that when it gets late in the game, your basics comes back into play. When you get tired, you fall back into your basics. You don't get out of that. But also you train that mind on a continual basis to do it. You have to continually train the mind. Develop. Being able to do this, to see it needs to be done, and not to be able to do it to me is a little bit of a travesty of life. But I can give in different ways. We can give in different ways. There are other ways of accomplishing the goals of life. Give, live, learn, grow, then teach. Experience your life. Learn from the life. Grow from the life experience. But then also teach. The availabilities of those tenets or basics is a blessing for the love of the game.